Well, greetings everyone. Once again, this is Israel Hawkins coming to you from the house of Yahweh in Abilene, Texas. In Revelations, the 11th chapter, we see that Yahweh gives power to two men. These are two men that he calls the two witnesses. The two witnesses. And it says in verse 3, "And I will give power to my two witnesses to perform their prophetic offices, and they will foretell events about the 1,260 days, those cast about with darkness." Now here he shows that these days that these men are going to be working are cast about with darkness. That is uncertainty. It means uncertainty. It means a time period when the sun will actually be darkened. It's going to be darkened, as the Savior shows in another place. But notice he said, these are the two olive trees. What does he mean here, the two olive trees? Well, he's referring to another prophecy concerning the two witnesses spoken of by the prophets. Now, I want to read you what the Savior says here concerning the prophets. In Luke 24, if you want to write these scriptures down, it would be handy if you had a pencil and paper and just jot these scriptures down and read them for yourself. It's very interesting what Yahweh shows concerning the two witnesses and the last days' work, the prophesying that they do in this time period. In Luke 24 and verse 25, "Then he said to them, O fools, and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken." And then he shows them things concerning himself. The Savior shows things concerning the two witnesses, and here in Revelations, this is the Savior speaking here, and this is the message that Yahweh gave to the Savior. If you look at verse 1 of Revelations, chapter 1, verse 1 and 2, you'll see that Yahweh gave Yeshua, the Savior, a message to give to us in these last days, to show us things that would come to pass in a short time period. And that time period is given here in Revelations 11, where it says 1,260 days cast about with darkness. But he says these are the two olive trees. Where would we find that prophecy? Did you know that the names of the two witnesses are given in the Holy Scriptures? Yes. The time period where they would be born and how they would be taught and nourished up in the laws and work of Yahweh and in the Scriptures themselves. They would learn